For the last week, knowing this feast was coming up, I was preparing a homily that was based all around the theme of Christ the King and how important and glorious it is for us to serve Christ the King. But you know very well that I always say to the Lord, well, you tell me what to say. And then he said, I want you to say this. And I said, but I had prepared this nice little talk about your glorious kingdom. He said, tell them this. Take care of the poor. You are charged with the care of the least and the littlest ones. The poor, the hungry, the disabled, the elderly, the terminally ill, children, the unborn. You're charged with their care. If you want to get to heaven, you have to take care of them. I said, but Lord, wouldn't it be better to have programs that eliminate poverty? He said, I told you that the poor would always be with you. All right, Lord, well, why are the poor always going to be with us? He said, remember the homilies that I've had you give? Where you talked about this very gospel and you said to parents, it's the most natural thing. You have these little children and you feed them because they're hungry, you clothe them because they're naked, you give them a shelter because they're homeless. But they're in your home and so you take care of them. I said, yes, Lord, I remember that. That was a very clever homily that I gave. He said, if you try to eliminate the poor, you'll eliminate children. We're already doing that, Lord. And the elderly, and the terminally ill, and the disabled, and the unborn. See, so the world has a perverse way of taking the Lord's commands and turning them into something horrible. The Lord gives us the poor to teach us the all-important lesson that we cannot do what He asks us to do without trusting in Him completely. How many times we need to learn the lesson? Parents know this. I want to raise children, but I get angry too often. I get upset and impatient. Or I just grow weary from always having to take care of them. And it's supposed to make them turn to God, who takes care of us all. Make us run to God and say, help us. You've given us a command that we cannot fulfill on our own. He says, you're not meant to. We're not supposed to try to do anything on our own. God has made us creatures, human beings, to be always joined to Him. We're never meant to be on our own. We're never meant to try these huge feats without Him. It would be impossible for us, but with Him, all things are possible. Do you believe that? You must believe that. And the only way that you'll learn to believe that is by trusting in Him. Because if you try it on your own, your frustrations will lead to something horrible. And one to the other will connect with each other and will say, well, I have a plan. I have a plan. We used to say, if you want to make God laugh, tell Him your plans, right? But you know what? If you want to make God cry, you want to break His heart, fulfill your plans. Accomplish your plans, and not His. So He said, tell them to take care of the least and the littlest so that they can learn to trust in me. And in this way, Christ is our King. And He reigns through us in this world. May we always fulfill the will of God.